Live from Kokomimli, this is the AM show on Joy News. Time now for us to talk about children in the pit. I'm sure you can see from my background that it's illegal mining. Now, they should be in the classrooms chasing dreams, but many children in mining communities are instead chasing specks of gold in toxic pits. The lure of quick cash has dragged them into the deadly world of illegal mining, where mercury, lead, arsenic poisoning the air they breathe and the water they drink. Nana Yaojima has more in this latest feature titled Children in the Pit, and it is produced in partnership with O Africa. Enjoy. We have a conversation after.
The Wasa East District of the Western Region is among areas with substantial gold deposits in the country. Our journey into the district revealed illegal small-scale mining operations have taken over the main Ayamfore Wase Kropon Road in the Western Region. At Wasa Esikuma near Ikropon, I met a group of teenagers aged between 12 and 14 years. They are 10 in number, but to ease their Galamsey activities, they have divided themselves into 3 and sometimes 4. The 2 leaders are in year 2 of junior high school at the local basic school, and the others are in their first year at JHS, but most of them are still in primary school. Today, in the Galamsey Palance, is breaking day. A day small-scale miners in this community rest from their field activities. I met them in their washing bays close to their homes in Esikuma, where they washed the previous day's gold containing sand, which they call black. A conical-shaped wooden bowl is the main tool here, and with their hands, they wash the sand in water. After 2 minutes of continuous washing of the sand, the gold particles settle from the sand. Mercury, the heavy metal, is dropped in the bowl, resulting in the formation of gold amalgam, which they call balls. One of the 2 group leaders, who I choose to call David, explains their mode of operations. Junior, not his real name, is the leader of the other group, who has also succeeded in getting the gold amalgam.
Wait, Mina, 4.3. Bani abatama baya near Jiska. 1.3 Mina, 3.6 near Chennai. 1.5, 1.5.
Moko Monday to Saturday.
I just said Ebnadanguan Yango.
Nti moko bia de bia mutiminya sa 3 million.
Ana etiminya 4 million.
Eni de bia.
Everyone zo enye dem bia.
The mercury, which is used by the children, is stored in a small container which is originally used to package eye drop. They pass on the mercury to each other as and when needed. Both David and Junior pointed to their gold buyer, whose name they gave as Brakwame, as a supplier of mercury. Though they have knowledge about the danger of this heavy metal, they are more concerned about the monetary gains.
And see, when you say mercury, you see that chain, everything me amount yare.
What I?
Yare be no mo say everything amount.
John dem mo.
Na what you saying? What mercury ho asem saying?
Dio me tian say a teacher ni ka kire say adebi de bone ni kwan say ye rough and I see ye di gu enzem ne kodidi a hwane anva ni di o say awure yanzanza ne didi.
No, what you know yes sir, because they say we did agro.
Sange ye kwa dwuma ana makofa de ahye mbutum say nge kwa na ye twa black ni wi ana ya de atuma achi black ndaba fi.
Chana chile say yeah any ava sama krina angu kwa kwanza nya sabia ye refine ko trade and man ye dia be yare
and I still that's the year you mean
na vanya juma mi na dem de bachim good ni makoton.
According to Professor Paul Poku Sampene-Osei's research, it takes between 10 to 15 micrograms per deciliter of heavy metal ingestion into the human body to negatively affect organs. The exposure of these children to mercury could lead to its ingestion or inhalation.
I've told you that adults absorb those things 15 to 20% of what ingested these mercury or heavy metals. I won't say mercury alone, heavy metals. But the child, when he ingests, is absorbed. This level of absorption is 50%. So if you took maybe fufu, which has these heavy metals contaminating the components that made the water that was made used to make the fufu, the child will absorb 50%, assuming that is 100 that was there. He absorbing 50 out of the 100 into the system.
Parents of these children are aware of the dangerous ventures of their wards.
Papa atoku don bi amde misala me ngwa na mko.
O papa na talk do ma se papa yin do. Na papa so yebi.
Wa bia na site bo na fom. Na awo Augustine chile won. Na o talk do na.
Nti o ko papa site na se fana ya yo.
Aya wo no me ponsko ba kwan wo.
According to the children, they are regular at school since the owners of these mining sites only allow them in after school. Dr. Eugene Ansah is a researcher at the Sheath Laboratory at the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology. Dr. Eugene Ansah fears for the future.
Ghanaians, we are sitting on time bombs, which, if care is not taken, in some years to come, our generation will go into extinction because we are dying gradually from acute exposure to these things. Today, I might not feel the effects, but with time, it will show off. So bioaccumulation is showing off gradually in most of us.
The Mercury Act 1989 guides against the trade or importation of mercury without the requisite licensing.
This feature story is sponsored by All Africa.
So that's the story of children in the pit, produced in partnership with All Africa. And I want to engage some members of All Africa. They're here in the studio with me. And we'll also speak to the consultant who's spearheading this project. So in studio with me this morning, I have Jacinta Atakra. She's head social worker at All Africa. And Akpene Fatima Mojifa is head of communication at All Africa. Ladies, welcome to the program.
Thank you.
I mean, this story breaks my heart, but I'll come back to you in a bit for us to discuss what All Africa is and why you even brought us a story like this. But joining us on Zoom, we also have the consultant or the spokesperson for this project lead, Emmanuel K. Dogbevi. And Emmanuel, thank you for joining us via Zoom. Good morning.
Thank you. Good morning.
Okay. It's good that I can hear and see you loud and clear. So please hold for me. I'll come back to you in a bit. Let me start from a bit of education on who All Africa is. And so, Jacinta, let's start with you. Who is All Africa? And what are you doing about this, Galamsey? Why do you even need to show us the story of how children from, I gather that mostly in primary school, who are in Galamsey pits? But first, All Africa. Introduce us to All Africa.
All right. Thank you very much. All Africa is a child-centered organization that was established in Ghana in 2002. So we've been around for 22 years now. And All Africa, our mission is to support children who are vulnerable. We know children are the most vulnerable population. And we seek to support children to be empowered. We ensure that All Africa ensures that children live with their families. That's actually what we do. we ensure that every child lives with biological family, because we believe that the best place for a child to thrive is in a family environment. It's within their own family and not in institutions.
Okay.
So, All Africa, we ensure that every child has that opportunity to live with the family by supporting the family to be stable, to have the resources to care for this child.
Thank you. And so now it makes sense why All Africa would venture into an initiative like this, a program like this, because you are for the children. So Akpene, let's talk about how this idea even was birthed in the first place. What about the way, I'm sure as citizens of this country, you see and you hear the conversation around illegal mining and how these non-biodegradable metals have made their way into water that we drink, food that we eat, and all that. But for you as an organization, what was that light bulb moment that made you think we need to do a story to show the world that children are also in danger?
So for us, as my colleague said, anything surrounding children concerns us. So when it comes to the safety of the child is our core to ensure that the children are protected. So for us to venture into saving children from Galamsey, it's our core, right? So over the years, we have worked on reintegrating children from institutional care into families and ensuring that they live in a safe and a loving and a stable environment.
Okay.
Right. But those children are living with their families, some with relatives, but they are also at stake. They are endangered, right? So we would like to introduce or expose the reality behind the Galamsey to the world, to Ghana, to Ghanaians, to see that aside the gold that they are harvesting or they are getting, that some innocent children's lives are at stake. They are actually involved. Previously, we see people mining and they are adults. But now it is not just adults. Little children as little as 7 years. You can see in the video how strong or how they are using their energy to just wash away their lives.
Yeah.
You know?
And it breaks my heart. Thank you for doing this. So let me engage now Emmanuel Dogbevi. Emmanuel, as a spokesperson or consultant for this project, what was the most shocking revelation for you? I mean, I'll start. For me, it's finding out that while adults absorb just 50%, 15 to 20% of these heavy metals, children, when exposed to the same amount of heavy metals, absorb as much as 50%. And it really breaks my heart. But for you, having been on this project from start to finish, what was the most shocking revelation that came to you?
For me, thank you very much. The shocking aspect of this whole situation is the reaction of the country, of citizens, to what is a clear and present danger to the future of our country. The children of today are the future of our country, and Ghana is a signatory to the Minamata Convention on, the management of mercury, for instance. And so there should be an urgent reaction and response to ensuring that children are protected from coming close to mercury in the first place. But to see children freely use mercury, for me, and no any outrage from the country is the biggest shock.
I mean, one of the respondents said that his father bought him the equipment to go and mine gold. I cannot wrap my head around that. But what are the factors that will push children into illegal mining pits? Educators.
You would understand that a lot of people are poor. Poverty is a factor. In our communities and in the Ghanaian society, we don't see child labor as a problem. Every parent believes that a child of a certain age should be able to work and bring in some income to supplement household incomes. And so for most parents, it's normal. Particularly, it emanates from the concept of helping your parents in the farm. And so it gets transferred into other sectors of the economy where children are seen as additional support income earners to support families' daily income. So for the father, he is not doing anything wrong. He's providing equipment for his child.
Is that not child
work.
labor, Emmanuel?
Yes, that's obviously child labor. But again,
but you just said he's not done anything wrong.
Well, children go to farm, for instance, to help their parents. So most parents see that in the same vein as children going to help on the farm. So he doesn't see anything wrong with it. And so the issue is, how are we enforcing our child labor laws to educate parents, to ensure that parents take note of the fact that if you do that, you are breaking the law and you are bound to be punished.
Do we have enough laws in place to nip this in the bud, or should we be looking at some reviews in terms of our policy direction and all that when it comes to child labor specifically? Because from what you are saying, the parents, they don't see anything wrong with this because it's normal for, I'm sure their generation, they had to accompany their parents to the farm. And so to push your child into a Galamsey illegal mining pit seems like normal to you. Where do the laws begin to come in so that we can change the status quo?
Ghana is the first country in sub-Saharan Africa to ratify the UN Convention on the Safety of the Child. Ghana has ratified the ILO Convention on Child Labor, and so on and so forth. We have enough laws in this country. We have enough legislative instruments. We have enough institutions. Our problem is enforcement. Like in all cases, like in all instances. Galamsey started not today. I mean, more than 20 years ago, I used to work for Friends of the Earth, one of the largest environmental groups in Ghana. We've been talking about Galamsey, but it wasn't as widespread as it is today. Why are we where we are today with Galamsey? To the extent that children have become exposed to the dangers of Galamsey, it's enforcement. We have the laws. We should be bold enough to enforce the laws without fear or favor. Okay. It's the only way we can get the message across.
Before I come back into the studio, help us talk about the long and short-term effects of these children laboring away in these illegal mining pits on their health, on education, on the society as a whole. What are the dangers we face?
The side effects of heavy metals are very well known. Impact on your neuro parts of your body. For pregnant women, the fetuses can be affected. It affects children's growth and development. It has a lot of side effects physically as well. Their mental development, as you heard some of the scientists and health experts speak about in the documentary, children are completely at bigger risk because they also have a lesser body mass weight, and so on and so forth. So we are talking about exposing children to things that can kill them. I mean, naturally, we have heavy metal in the soil, in water, but a certain level of it is not harmful. But getting directly in contact with heavy metals like mercury is like literally poisoning yourself in the long term. And considering our health budget as a country, we are struggling to pay for the budgets of cost of treating malaria. Now, if you add heavy metals to it, how many children die under the age?
I've got some network interference there with Emmanuel's connection. I'll try and reconnect with Emmanuel. Emmanuel, do I have you back?
Been done in malaria.
Okay. Emmanuel, I'll try. My technical team will try and reconnect with you. So let's come back into the studio. And Jacinta, what do you hope to achieve with this beautiful film? Not beautiful in the sense of the content, but the story, the work you're doing to highlight that this is our reality on the ground. What do you hope to achieve with this beautiful work you've done?
Okay. So our first point of call is to have CSOs, civil society organizations, NGOs, government officials, the police, chiefs, ministries, health experts, environmental protection experts all come on board so that we can have a discussion about this menace because it is really bad. We have to get the children out of this poisonous playground.
Okay.
So on the 30th of this month, which is tomorrow, we are holding a national forum at the University of Ghana, Amegashi Auditorium. It starts at 8 o'clock and ends at 2. We want to have a stakeholder discussion about the dangers of children engaged in illegal mining, Galamsey, and solicit ideas on how we can resolve this issue.
Okay.
So that's the first thing. Then after that, Africa and its partners are seeking to go into areas where this problem is happening, meet with families, educate them on the bad effects of engaging their children in Galamsey.
Okay.
Then we know that since poverty is a driving force, it's one of the issues, then we are seeking to support families economically so that they can care for their children without pushing them to work in this dangerous field.
Thank you, Jacinta. And Akwen, I'll give you the final word. I just want to let Emmanuel conclude on his thoughts for us. Emmanuel, you were talking about the dangers, and I think there was a network interruption. So conclude on your points for me, and then I'll come back in studio. I think you're frozen again, Emmanuel. But, I mean, we know that tomorrow, All Africa and some of their stakeholders will be gathering. Tomorrow is the 30th of July, 2025, at University of Ghana from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. It's a dialogue where everyone is locked in on how we can begin to change the narrative of children in the pit. So, Akpene, I might have to give you the final word here because I cannot go back to Emmanuel. And Emmanuel, thank you for joining us. So, what do you hope to achieve after the conference tomorrow? I know that the whole purpose of this film is to draw the attention of those involved to understand that there's this danger we are facing as a country. That is what has resulted in that conference, that dialogue that you're having tomorrow. After the dialogue, are you looking for policy reforms? Are you looking for laws? Are you looking for government, CSOs to take action? What is the intention here?
Thank you. So tomorrow, a whole lot will happen. A lot of people will come up with their ideas and then come up with the ways through which we can solve this crisis. After this, we are expecting the existing laws to be reinforced. The laws are there. We have them. We have in the Children's Act is there. In the labor law is there. The Minnesota thing that we've signed is there. So it's just a matter of enforcing it and making sure that the laws work. And also, the citizens should stand up for each other as well. The ministries should also come up so that we can be able to bring the laws to life. I mean, the law should be alive. It should be working. You know, here people say things like, "Oh, the law doesn't work. The law doesn't work." It's because we, the citizens, are not making it to work. So we, the citizens, have to make those laws work for our own good. Right? And after this, we're also expecting the government to take serious actions, especially for the children. We know they are fighting for Galamsey to end. But when the children involved is urgent, like it's now. The children should be getting out of the pit now.
Thank you. What are we calling this conference tomorrow? And I know it's live on Joy News from 10 a.m. to about 2 p.m. or so.
Yes.
So you can catch all the action right here on the Joy News channel tomorrow. This wonderful dialogue that seeks to bring an end to children in illegal mining pits. What is the title of the conference? What are you calling it?
So it's the Poison Playground.
The Poison Playground. Okay.
Ending child labor in Galamsey.
All right.
We encourage all the public to follow us or join our social media handles. So on Instagram, you can find us on oafrica.org. And then in Facebook, it's oafrica. When you type oafrica, you will see us. And then you follow us, share your thoughts, and then help us spread the message.
Thank you so much. And just a bit of correction there. Tomorrow will be live on the Joy News channel from 10 a.m. to 12 noon. So that's when you can catch the action. Poisoned Playground. The title carries weight. Playgrounds should not be poisoned. Yeah. Thank you for coming. I had in studio with me this morning Actually, I spoke on Zoom. I spoke to Emmanuel K. Dogbevi. He's a consultant on the program for O Africa. And I also spoke to Jacinta Takra. She's a head social worker at O Africa. And Akpene Fatima Mojifa is the head of communication at O Africa. And they joined us. Don't forget, tomorrow they're locked in on that conversation. So you should tune in and watch. I'll take a break. When we return, some other conversations before we wrap up. Hopefully today we'll be able to pick your calls. Who knows? Stay with me.